Superbelle Sews. My name's Sarah. Thanks for joining me today. It's another edition of Friday Sews. It is Friday the, I'm going to say 19th of May. I think it's the 19th of May. As usual, please bear with me with this building work next door. Nala's making a racket. There's just a lot going on, as always, in the house. I have moved down to our living room for today's video because I've started going through a load of stuff in the sewing room, packing some stuff away, taking some stuff to my parents, just working out what I'm going to need over the next few months. We're not going to be going for a little while, but work gets really busy in sort of late June, early July, so I'm just trying to get ahead of myself, really. So what have I been doing this week? I've actually done quite a bit of sewing. So behind me, you will see my finished Elodie dress. Now, I don't have pictures of this yet because I'm hoping to wear it to my friend's wedding 2 weeks from tomorrow. And I want to get pictures then when I'm all dolled up. But I will show you the gist of it now. So you saw a lot of it last time. The waist ties are now on. I'm going to lift this up so you can see the waist ties a bit better. The sleeves, they're grown on sleeves, so you don't have to cut them separately. The length is good. Generally, let's talk about the fit. So when I posted that I was making this pattern, I had quite mixed responses. So there were some people who said they absolutely loved it. The reason I decided to make this, I'd had the pattern for a while, but I was thinking of using it for a concert dress pattern, and then I saw Jenny from Jenny Stitches. She made a cornflower blue version of this dress, and I just loved it. I'll pop a picture here of her dress. And I just like, because there are a lot of wrap dress patterns out there, but I think there are elements to this one that are just a bit different in the fit and everything. I mentioned last week we have this pleat detail. You probably can't see it so well on that side, but on this side you can. So there are 3 pleats here. Sorry, this isn't the most tech savvy way of doing it, is it? But whatever, it works. You get the gist. So you have these 3 pleats at the waist. It has quite, I just feel like having, I know it's not a kimono sleeve, but I think just that silhouette of the grown on sleeve is really nice. Sorry, Nala's panting like Billy-O right now. So in terms of fit, because that's the thing that I was quite worried about. There were a lot of people who had messaged me who had said that they had some issues with the fit. Oh, what are you doing? Don't know what she's doing. Are you lying down? She's lying down, guys. Panic over. She's laying down, so hopefully we'll stop making a racket. Yeah, I actually found the fit pretty good. I went down a size from the size chart, but I did double check the finished measurement chart first. There isn't, because there should have been quite a bit of ease in the bust, and there's not loads of ease in the bust, but it does fit nicely over the bust, I would say. There were some issues in the neckline, so the main issue I have with wrap tops, I did have with this one as well. I hope that sizing down would solve it, but it didn't. So I just had excess fabric, excess length in the neckline. I ended up cheating it by taking what's on the facing sticking out. I basically took what would you call it, like a dart or a wedge up at the shoulder, which has more or less solved the problem. I think when I make the pattern next time, that's an adjustment that I will actually make onto the pattern piece. So I took out probably, what are we talking? Like 1.5 centimeters each side. I took it up. And that has more or less sorted the fit out. So other than that, I found the fit really good. I love the shape. I will show it to you when I get these pictures in a couple of weeks. But I'm overall really pleased with it, to be honest. So I had a moment of doubt there, but I actually think it's a really gorgeous dress. This is a really good fabric to have started with, because obviously it's a linen viscose that I bought from Fabrics Galore when they had it as their cheeky treat, so it was 50% off. So I got it for, I think it was £6 a metre, which is good for this dress because it's quite fabric hungry. So I think for your first go, use something cheap, because I have heard that there's quite variation in how people feel about this pattern once they have it on themselves. So I would say just like play it safe with your first go. But obviously it has a bit of drape then, but also it's a linen base, so it's quite stable. So it was easy to work with, it didn't distort too much. You have to fit with the waistband and the skirt. There's no gathering in the skirt, so you just need to make sure that your pieces don't get distorted as you're working with them. And this fabric, as I said, is really stable, so that was really easy to do. I'm gonna have to think about how I make this work as well for my sparkly fabric. It's whether I attach the sparkly fabric to a solid piece so that it doesn't stretch, so like a black cotton or something, or whether I just make it like I made my organza dress. I'm not sure. It's not as well structured as the organza, so I think it will need something to help out. But I am still planning on going ahead with my concert dress in sequins, so I will keep you updated on that. Now, just hold your horses for 1 second while I change the mannequin, because I've got something else to show you. So the next thing that I sewed up this week, you can see behind me, is a slightly modified version of the Penelope dress by Emporia Patterns. Now I picked up this pattern at the Knitting and Stitching show. It was one of the ones that I went there planning on buying. It's actually quite a simple design. There are no fixtures or fastenings, you just put it on over your head. It's got big sleeves. Now my sleeves are not as big as the sleeves, oh, I'm not showing you that very well, am I? Are not as big as the sleeves on the pattern, because I ran out of fabric basically, so I needed to fit both of my sleeves onto, so I needed to be able to fold the fabric and get both of them within the width of that fabric. So I slightly narrowed down the sleeves, but actually the effect of the sleeves is still very nice. So I would say if you decide to make this pattern and you're thinking, I don't have enough fabric to do those amazing sleeves, you can take a bit of the volume out and they're still nice. So this fabric I was gifted by Minerva.com. It's one of their exclusive prints and it is on a linen viscose base. So I'm having a bit of a linen viscose moment this year. It's got this really gorgeous design, if I bring it a bit closer, again, very high tech, which are these sort of diamonds with a big bumblebee, here we go, and then this sort of nice wild flower design. Now, I love bees. Nate thinks it's kind of weird because I'm a terrible gardener, but I love the garden. So I love having wildflowers. I love having like anything that I think will bring like bees, birds, any sort of wildlife in. I love it. And he's always like, oh, you just love the bee. I do. I love bees. And I'd eyed this up in their viscose, but when it came out in linen, I thought, oh, it's such a summery print. And I think having it in a really nice summery fabric is amazing. When I asked for this fabric, I hadn't picked which pattern I was going to use. I just knew I wanted to make a dress. And it was just the other day when I was thinking about it and I thought, oh, this would make a really nice Penelope actually. So the one thing I found, I was a bit short of fabric. I have made the shorter length version, so without the ruffled here at the bottom. Again, I'm taking photos of this tomorrow, so you will not see them in this post. But if you see my Instagram, if you look at my Instagram, I will hopefully post on there in the next few days. And when I do my review, you'll see that. I'm also on Monday going to finally film my March and April review of patterns. So they do all eventually get out there. It just depends how organised I am. I was a bit short of fabric for the sleeves. And then also I hadn't realised until I was starting to sew it up that I needed lining. So this bodice is lined. So it has this nice sort of soft V-neck. It's got a high, just a normal neck at the back. No fixtures or fastenings. You cut it on the fold. And literally the only pieces you have, so you have 2 pieces for the bodice, 2 pieces for the skirt, your sleeves, and then there is the 2 pieces for the lining. That's it. Now I was a bit worried because the fabric's so light. I was struggling to find in my collection of fabric something suitable for lining, and in the end, I ended up cutting up a pillowcase. So I don't know if you can see here, just like a plain cream fabric. And it was an old pillowcase, had a big stain on part of it. So I just cut that bit off. And I had enough to cut both of the bodice pieces out. You have darts in the bust, at the bust, and not at the waist. I did a full bust adjustment for this. So I was a bit apprehensive because you have to get it over your head, and I was just a bit worried about the fit because it's woven fabric and everything. So I contacted them to ask about the cup size because it didn't mention that in the pattern booklet. They said it was drafted for a C cup. I ended up doing just over an inch full bust adjustment. So yeah, and I was pleased with that, pleased with how it fit. I can get it on and off over my head, so everyone's a winner. This fabric is actually lush. I would really recommend the Minerva linen viscose. It's just like nice quality. The intensity of the print and the colours is really nice. And it's just a bit more, because I like their viscose challis and stuff as well, but this one's just a bit more substantial. And it just feels really breathable as well for the summer, so would highly recommend that. Yeah, so that's what I've been working on this week. I've also made good progress on my Mabel, which is for the Little Miss So-and-so subscription box from last month. But I'm going to show you that when I get my box for this month. I've made Mabel before, so there weren't many differences. I slightly lengthened the bodice, but that was it. I have another Mabel planned, so I finally decided on what my exact outfit's going to be for these weddings I'm going to. So the Saturday registry office wedding is going to be the blue Elodie that I just showed you. The Saturday evening, I'm going to wear my black dress that I made for my birthday in organza, and I'm going to be sewing up using this. I'm using this Duchess, covered in dust now, so I just put it on top of the piano. Black Duchess satin, which I bought from Fabrique. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I'll put it below. I'm going to make just an underdress to wear under the shirt. It's going to be separate, as I mentioned last week, so that I can wear it under other things, or I could wear it on its own. I'm a bit up in the air on the design. I think the bodice is going to be the sleeveless, square-necked, darted Upton dress bodice by Cashmerette. I used that as the base for the green lace dress that I made for my friend's wedding last year. And the skirt, I want it to just be kind of mini. And I want it to be fairly, like, normally I'd wear an A-line, but because it's going under another dress, I want it to be fairly, like, fitted. So I don't want it to be, like, skin tight, but I just want it to be, I want it to create a nice silhouette, like, boop, like that. I don't know what you call that, like a mini, I don't know what you call that. I'll work it out. Anyway, so I haven't worked out exactly what I'm going to do for the skirt shape yet, but I just want to get the bodice made up and then I'll make a little skirt. So that's what I'm going to wear for the Saturday wedding. And I've got this big magenta bow that I'm going to wear in my hair. And I've got these magenta shoes with bows on. So that's going to be that outfit. And then for the Sunday wedding, which is like my best friend's wedding, they are, excuse me, they are having it in their parents' garden. I'm singing, and I sort of couldn't make my mind up. The dress code is very vague, so there'll be people very dressed up, there'll be people more relaxed. Since I'm having a viscose lawn moment, not viscose lawn, viscose linen, I am going to use the strawberry print from Fabric Godmother, and I'm going to make another Mabel dress. And then I'm also going to make Schultz Apparel have this free bag pattern. I think it's called the Alta bag. And it's like a little circle. I'll pop a picture. It's a little circle with a bow on. So I'm going to make that to match in the strawberry print. And then, because I went on a bow spree, I got this pink, like light pink velvet bow that I'm going to have in my hair. Yeah, it's going to be cute. Cottage core. I'm going cottage core for that, I think. So yeah, so I know what I'm wearing for these weddings. I have 2 weeks to finish off my other two outfits. So that's obviously going to be a priority for me in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, that's it in terms of what I've been sewing. What else has been happening in the last couple of weeks? One thing is Sew Over It have released another pattern. This one is the Jemima dress and jumpsuit. It was I shot 3 looks for them when I was there, and this was the last one to be released. And I've been waiting for this one because it's just a really good pattern. So I'll pop it up here for you. It's in their full size range. I think the main plan was to make the jumpsuit, but then obviously some people are a bit nervous of jumpsuits, so they've added the dress option because I think it's an easiest change to make and it's maybe a more accessible way into that pattern. I'm wearing the dress option here. And the main feature of this is the sort of mirrored pleats at the waist. It's also elasticated around the back of the waist, so you can get a really like close fit, but it's still going to be comfortable. And yeah, I love the look of the jumpsuit. Jemima, who here is wearing the Jemima jumpsuit, I loved the look of her jumpsuit on the day. I just thought the shape was really good. The only thing I can't decide is what fabric to make it in. You need something with a bit of structure, obviously, because it's a jumpsuit, but they said it's designed for something with a bit of drape, but it needs to be something that presses well because you want those pleats to be neat. So I just haven't made my mind up yet on what to use. I think Jemima's jumpsuit was in a chambray. It might have been a viscose chambray, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking maybe something like that, but light blue isn't really my colour. So I just don't have a vision yet, but I'm really keen to make that up. Let me know what you think of that pattern, but I think it's a really, really good one. So that's exciting. And then finally, I can share with you my Jenny Stitches bag. Yay! So as most of you will probably know, I'm on the blog team for Jenny Stitches Fabrics. She has a lovely shop in Barrow, which is sort of near the Lake District. And as part of the project, whenever we're ready, we look through her website and say, I want to make this using this fabric and I need these notions. And she sends it all to us. We make it, write a blog post, send it back, and then she sends us a voucher. So the products for this I was gifted free of charge, and then I'm given a voucher for the blog post. But so far, I've genuinely loved everything I've made. So this is my first ever bag making project. It was the Noodlehead Redwood Tote. My brain went blank there. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because that's what the blog post is for. So I will pop the details down below. But I just really enjoyed making it. As you know, I went on to buy another Noodlehead pattern, which was the Range backpack, and make that up, which I also loved. So yeah, cannot recommend them highly enough. As you can see, the print matching was my nemesis here. I did get there. It's not perfect on one side, although I hadn't noticed that in person, so I think it might have just been hanging a bit funny. But yeah, with this one, I really felt like I needed to match the print, just because the scale of the print is large and the scale of the bag is small, and I just thought it would look really weird if I didn't do that. So, and I'm pretty pleased with how that turned out. Yeah, it was sort of a William Morris inspired canvas for the exterior. The interior was a lilac or lavender cotton poplin. And all of the notions were from Jenny's website. She has a really good bag making section. So I'm really pleased with that. I've also received the items for my next project. I think I can tell you what I'm making. Can I? No, I think I can. I'm going to be making a Sew Over It pattern, the Sorrento jacket, which is a denim jacket. And I've wanted to make it for ages, but I've been a bit scared of A, the top stitching, and B, putting in those like metal button things. Whenever I try and put in like poppers or what are they called? Anything like that, it just never goes particularly well. So I'm going to be making a really classic denim jacket. So I've got some of Jenny's denim, I've got some nice golden top stitching thread, I've got Kylie and the Machine metalwork kit. So that's going to be a really good project. I enjoy, with the Jenny blog, I feel like we're really encouraged to experiment with things. So I've made lots of different things now. So the bag making I might not have tried, the denim jacket I might have kept shying away from. Yeah, she's really like encouraged us to explore different things, so I've really enjoyed that. And I go on about Jenny all the time, but I just think it's a lovely little business. So yeah, so this week, I don't know if I'll be as productive with the sewing, we'll see, but I'll have a couple of vlogs for you anyway. So I'm hoping my little Miss So-and-so box will arrive. I'm also planning on Sunday to film my March and April review of the things I've made vlog. So there will be things out there. I'm making a lot for these weddings at the moment, and I'm probably not going to be sharing those too much until the weddings have actually happened. So I might show pictures of them on the mannequin or whatever, but I'm going to wait to take the official pictures until I'm all dolled up, because you may as well. So yeah, I hope everyone's really having a great week and has nice plans for the weekend. We are, I would say, very much in the wedding / building work stress part of life now. A lot of people were like, it's a big year for you. It is a big year for us. But it's working out. Yeah, it's working out. It's just, I think we're feeling the pressure a bit more now than we maybe were a month ago. But it's all exciting stuff. And I think by the end of the year, we will hopefully, touch wood, we'll be married, we'll be back in our house, and it will be sort of all working out the way we want it to. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll all be worth it in the end. So yeah, thanks so much, Zeva. As always, if you enjoy the videos, please do like and subscribe if you don't already. But yeah, that's it from me. Have a great week. See you later. Bye.